this is just a general move your body, celebrate all the amazing ways that it can move class. It's really gentle, it's just a really nice way to move your body. So if you're kind of feeling a little bit like you can't be bothered and you don't want to be doing an awful lot, then this might just well be the class for you. All you need for this one is a rolled up towel or a half dome. You can do this movement with both the towel and the half dome. The towel is a little bit more gentle, but it's up to you, whatever you've got available. And then just pop that to one side because we don't need it just now. And we're going to start by lying down on our back. So just take a moment to let your body settle into the floor. Letting your chest and shoulders roll open. Letting your pelvis be heavy. And then let's just stay here and just take some deep breaths. Just allowing everything to relax. Seeing if you can find that movement of your rib cage. And notice any sensations your body is giving you as you take those deep breaths. Are you noticing any tightness anywhere? And then we're going to start to move into our spine twist. So take your arms out into that T position, palms are facing up. Bringing your feet and knees together. Take a breath, and as you exhale, gently rolling your knees to one side. Inhale as you come through center, and exhale, take it over to the other side. So just go as far as feels okay for you. And maybe it feels nice to move your head the opposite way to your knees. And as your knees come in through center this time, we're going to bring our knees in. Give your knees a little hug, and let's just rock gently side to side here, just giving your back a little release. You can feel how more of your back is in contact with the floor, and you're rolling out your lower back. One hand on the top of each knee, we're going to open the knees wide for those little knee circles here. Make the movement as big or as small as you like. And then let's reverse and go the other way. And we're going to place our feet back down onto the floor. Bringing the soles of your feet together so that your knees can roll out to the sides for your cobbler stretch. Allowing your pelvis to settle. Making any adjustments that you need to. So remember, if this pulls and bothers your hip, you can get some cushions and pop them on the outside of your thighs so that you can rest down and relax there. We don't want it to feel like you're creating tension. We want it to let go. Again, rolling your chest and shoulders open here. And slowing your breath down. Taking your arms up towards the ceiling now. Interlace your fingers and flip your hands over, pressing your palms up. Keep pressing into those hands, keeping your ribs down as you start to take your arms overhead towards the floor behind you. Keep pressing into those hands and take a few breaths here. When you're ready, bringing your hands back up towards the ceiling. Bringing your fingers apart. Give your fingers a wriggle. Spread your fingers wide. And then circling at your wrist. And reverse, go the other way. And then gently pulling each finger in turn back to stretch out your fingers. And when you've done all the fingers, just give them a little wriggle again. And just releasing your arms down to the floor. Let's again just hold here for a few breaths. Bringing your knees up towards the ceiling now, and then stepping your feet wide to the outside edges of your mat for windscreen wipers. You're going to allow both knees to roll gently to one side, keeping that space between your knees as you inhale up and over to the other side, And again, maybe it feels nice to let your head roll the opposite way. Noticing any tension, any tightness. How does your waist feel as you move from side to side? Any tightness in your waist? How those hips feel? And then as you come in through centre this time, walking your feet back into hip distance apart. I'm going to bring one leg in now, so pulling that leg in towards you and reaching your other leg out long. Pulling that knee in towards you, trying to get real deep into your hip. And let's again relax our shoulders, relax our face, our jaw, our neck. And take some deep breaths. We're going to slide that free leg in now to place the foot down on the floor so that we can do our number 4 stretch here. So crossing your ankle over your knee, and then you can use your hand to press that knee out to the side. You don't want that knee kind of pointing in towards your nose, so encouraging it to open out, but remember we're never forcing. Again, letting everything else just be relaxed. And then you can maybe choose to stay here, or you can pick up that supporting leg and hold behind that thigh, pulling the whole complex in towards you and just relax here. Again, taking those deep breaths and just focusing on any messages that your body is sending to you, anything it's trying to hold on to. See if you can find a little bit more softness. And then when you're ready, placing that foot back down on the floor, keeping that number 4 position, we're going to roll over to bring the sole of the foot down towards the floor. Now if this bothers your hip, you can go into that spine twist position again. But if it feels okay, notice if that knee is dropping down towards you. Can you try and keep that knee pointing up towards the ceiling? I'm going to roll our upper body open again, trying to find that T position. Let's hold here for a few breaths. When you're ready, we're going to roll back onto our back. So if it helps, you can bend your arms and press your elbows into the floor to give you a little bit of support to roll back in through centre. So before you remove that leg, roll back into centre. So we're going to go into the happy baby stretch now. So the leg we've just been working on, the leg that comes across, we're going to bring that leg in towards us and hold behind our knee. Trying to get our shin as vertical as we can and sole of the foot pointing towards the ceiling. Now you can stay here and hold this, or if you can reach your hand up to try and grab that outside edge of your foot. Trying to find softness again, so if it's creating a lot of tension, go back to holding behind your knee or grab your strap and use your strap here. And then your free leg can stay bent, or you can start to straighten that free leg out if that feels okay for you. Remember, if you feel like you can't breathe, if this knee is compressing your chest, you can take the leg out to the side a little bit just to give you some more space. And again, let's soften our jaw, soften your face, let everything just be as relaxed as possible. If you want to, you can give the back of that leg a little bit of attention, and the hamstring a little massage. And then when you're ready, we're going to release that leg down, placing that foot down onto the floor. Bring in your other knee now, you're going to pull that knee in towards you and then slide your free leg out long. Pulling the knee in towards the chest, getting again real deep into your hip, let your shoulders relax. And focus again on your breath here. Sliding the free leg back in, and we're going to do our number 4 stretch on this side, crossing your ankle over your knee
And again, we're encouraging the knee to go out to the side, so if it's pointing towards your face, just use your hand to gently guide it out. Doesn't matter how far it goes, just wherever it feels okay for you. Let's take those deep breaths again here. Just trying to find as much softness and as much ease in these movements as you can. And then either choosing to stay here, or again picking up that free leg, that supporting leg, and holding behind that knee, just deepening that number 4 stretch a little bit. It's got to feel right for you. When you're ready, placing that foot back down on the floor, keeping in that number 4 stretch position, we're going to roll over again to bring the sole of the foot down towards the floor. Watch again for that knee trying to drop towards the floor, and we're going to keep that knee pointing up towards the ceiling. Again, open out your upper body. Can you find that T position again? And hold here. When you feel ready, we're going to roll onto our back again. Remember, you can use your elbows to give you a little bit of support as you roll yourself back onto your back. We're going to find the happy baby on this side now, so releasing that leg, pulling the knee in towards you, trying to get again your shin vertical, sole of the foot towards the ceiling, and either holding behind that knee or reaching up towards your foot. Remember, you can take it out to the side if you need to. And then maybe try straightening out the free leg and see how that feels. If it's too much, bend it back in. And then again, let's have a look. Does that hamstring, does the back of that leg need a little bit of attention? Can you find a little bit of softness there? When you're ready, let's release that leg. We're going to lengthen both legs out long and take your arms overhead and stretch from fingertips to toes, making yourself as long and as tall as you can here. Releasing your hands all the way down to the floor now. Backs of the hands are touching the floor. We're going to slide the arms out to the sides for our floor angels now. So we're going to keep our legs out long unless it bothers your back. If it bothers your lower back, then just go to that bent knee position. We're going to slide our arms out along the floor and up towards our head, only as far as you can keep those ribs down. So as you lift the arms, if the ribs come up, you've gone too far. So find the point at which you can keep the ribs down, and that's your maximum for today. And it might be different. It might be different today to how it was yesterday, and that's okay. Just moving at your own pace. Keeping the backs of the hands in contact with the floor. Really nice for opening out your chest and your shoulders. Let's do one more time here. And as your arms come down towards your hips, pausing there, we're going to roll onto our side for our crocodile next. So rolling onto your side, you're going to have your knees bent and your arms out in front, one hand on top of the other. Now if it's too far for your head to come all the way down to the floor and it's uncomfortable for your neck, you can grab yourself a cushion or that rolled up towel, making sure that your knees are stacked one on top of the other, so you've not got the top knee further back than the bottom knee, and that will put your pelvis into good alignment here too. When you're ready, we're going to reach that top arm forwards first, and then up towards the ceiling, reaching up, allowing your upper body to twist, but keeping your knees down on the floor. Just open out to your maximum position, and then hold there. So making sure that you can still breathe, obviously, making sure that you can still talk. So don't go too far, just go to where it feels okay. And then when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm all the way back up. and over, closing that crocodile wave. When you're ready, we're going to go again, reach that arm forwards first, and then open up, reaching up towards the ceiling, allowing your upper body to twist, knees stay down. Again, just find your maximum position here, holding for a couple of breaths, softening through your face, your jaw. And when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm back up and over. We're going to do just one more time on this side. But when you're ready, reach forwards and up. Open and out. Again, holding here. And then when you're ready, start to slowly bring that arm all the way back up and over. Roll yourself onto your back. Just give your knees a little hug. Just rock gently side to side, a little reset for your back. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So rolling onto your other side. Again, knees are bent, arms reach out in front. Taking a moment to make sure that your knees are stacked, your hips are stacked, and that your head is comfortable here. Again, feel free to grab something. It might be different on this side. When you're ready, reach that arm forwards first, and then up. Allow your upper body to twist, taking that arm back behind you. Finding that maximum position, but remember, don't force. And then holding here for a few breaths. When you're ready, start to slowly bring your arm back up. And all the way over to close your crocodile. When you're ready, go again, reach forwards. And up, allowing your upper body to twist, keeping those knees down on the floor, opening out, and again let's just hold here. Can you find a little bit more softness? And when you're ready, slowly close the crocodile mouth. Let's do one more time. Reaching forwards and up, opening out, and holding there. When you're ready, slowly bring that arm all the way back up and over. Rolling onto your back again. Again, let's just bring the knees in, taking a moment there to just release your spine. Release any tension through your low back. We're going to place our feet back down on the floor now. So feet and knees are hip width apart. And then rolling your chest and shoulders open, trying to get those ribs to relax down. So we don't want to be arching our back and having those ribs up. So relax your ribs down. And if that's a struggle, just pop a cushion under your head. We're going to take it into our pelvic tilt now, so take a breath. And as you exhale, you're going to tilt your pelvis towards you so that your hip bones are lower than your pubic bone. As you exhale, as you inhale, you're going to roll your pelvis the other way, bringing them back into alignment. Moving with your breath. With each exhale, tilting towards you. With each inhale, tilting the other way. Try and find softness, ease, and flowy. Just let it move. Don't worry about what it looks like, how big it is. Just move. This is a really nice way to release any tension through your low back. So we're going to take it into our spine curl now. So making sure you've not got a cushion under your head for this move. And as you tilt your pelvis towards you, you're going to keep tilting and rolling your hips. Up, up, up. Pausing at the top to take a breath And as you exhale, you're rolling back down. Take your time. Again, when you're ready, keeping your eyes on the ceiling above you keeps your neck in good alignment. Pausing at the top, taking a breath in and then exhaling and melting your spine back down. Trying to come down in that flowing, easeful movement. So you're trying not to be really rigid and stiff. You're trying to let your spine bend and flex and come down in sequence. So noticing whether you can get the upper back down and the middle back down and then the lower back and then your pelvis, or does it all come down in one solid unit? Seeing if you can soften. And again, don't worry about how high you're lifting. It's about trying to find that movement of your spine. Do one more time. And as you roll down this time, bringing your knees in towards your chest, give your knees a hug. Again, let's just roll out our back here. Moving on to our side for our clown. So coming down, dropping your head and your hand, knees bent. And again, taking a moment to make sure that your knees are stacked one on top of the other, and that puts your pelvis into good alignment. We're going to keep our feet together and open out that top knee. Notice here that your pelvis is staying super still. So find your hip bone and keep a check on it. It's really tempting when you do this movement to want to get your knee pointing right up to the ceiling, but if you do that, you'll find that your whole pelvis will roll. So keep that pelvis still. Last one here. And then we're going to keep the knees down but float the feet up. And let's go again here. Last two. Last one. And then as you lower your leg down this time, we're going to lift up that top leg. Pull your heel really close to your bottom. Keep your pelvis still and try and draw circles with your knee. And then reverse, go the other way. Much harder to keep still here. It might not be a circle, and that's okay. And then lowering your leg down. We're going to come up and stretch out that hip before we do the other side. So coming up to seated. Bring that leg in that you've just been working and cross it over the other side. Sit tall. Twist towards that bent leg and then scooping that knee in towards you using your free hand. Let's just hold here for a couple of breaths. And if you want to, instead of having that leg out in front, you can bend that knee to bring that foot down by your side. And that just deepens the stretch a little bit, but if it doesn't feel nice for you, then keep that leg out long. And then we're going to do the same little series on the other side. So when you're ready, find your position again, propping your head in your hand, knees bent. Taking a moment again to make sure your knees are stacked so that your pelvis is in good alignment. Find that hip bone and then keeping your feet together as you open out that top knee. Two more here. And then as you lower your knee down this time, floating the feet up. And let's go again here. Last one, as you lower the knee, lower your feet and then lifting that top leg, pulling your heel close to your bottom. And again, let's try and do circles with that knee. And then reverse, go the other way. I'm not quite sure mine's a circle, but... And then when you're already lowering that leg down, let's stretch out that side. Coming up again to seated. Bringing that leg in towards you, crossing it over and sit tall. Twisting towards that bent leg and again scooping that knee in towards your chest. Taking some deep breaths here, really twisting your body. And either keeping that free leg out long or again bringing it down by your opposite hip. And then we're going to go down onto our front. And we're going to do our hip extension. So you can rest your forehead down onto your hands. I'm going to keep my head up just so that you can hear me a little bit better, but you feel free to rest down. And then pubic bone is anchored, tailbone slightly tucked to give us some length in that lower back. We don't want to be shortening and tightening this lower back. And legs can be either together or hip width. Feel and see which is best for you. Reaching one leg away from you, making that leg as long as you can, let it lift off the floor and then lower down. And do the same on the other side. You're reaching, you're lengthening that leg, letting it lift and then lowering down. And we're going to keep switching sides. You're going to work really hard to keep your pubic bone anchored, keeping that pelvis slightly tilted so that your work is in your glutes and hamstrings and not your back. We want your back to be as soft and as relaxed as possible here. Keep reaching, keep lengthening. And as you lower your leg down this time, push yourself up and back into that child's pose, into that rest position, reaching your arms forwards and just giving your back a little stretch here. Just holding that child's pose and take those deep breaths. Now we're going to stay on our front, but grab your towel or your half dome now. I'm going to cross the middle of your mat and we're going to lie on our front here so that your hip bones are right on the very edge and your pubic bone is off. So it's going to tip your pelvis back a little bit. It can sometimes take a little bit of time to get in the right position. So come onto your mat. Hip bones are up, pubic bone is down. And I like to be on my elbows, but you might prefer to be down here. It's just a personal choice. So for me, when I lie all the way down, it puts too much pressure on my belly and it just doesn't feel nice to me. But try it, see how it feels to you. And both of those positions are absolutely fine. If you're on your elbows like me, just be very aware though that you've not just dropped into your shoulders and let your ribs drop down towards the floor. We don't want to be collapsed, we always want to be active and supported here. And your pelvis is tipping back, pubic bone is closer to the floor than your hip bones. Again, legs can be together or hip width, just see how they fall and what feels good to you. This is a passive stretch, so you don't really need to do anything here other than just hang out and relax. So you can focus on your breath here. You can again tune in and notice any messages that your body is sending you. Feel free to kind of adjust and play around. You might need to keep adjusting the position of your pelvis as it starts to release. So here we're releasing tension through the front of the hips. We're releasing the hip flexors. They tend to be very short and tight because we tend to sit with our legs in that seated position all of the time. They don't really need to be kept at that real long length because we spend most of our time seated. So this is a really nice way to release some of that tension, some of that tightness, and to find again some of that length. You could spend as long as you like in this position. This is a really nice position to be in, perhaps if you're reading. If you're sunbathing, you're lucky enough to go on holiday, read a book. This is a really nice position to be in, because if you lie on your front and you notice that you get after a while that really stiff lower back, it's the position of your pelvis. So this is just giving you a little bit more space. So the next movement that we're going to go on to from here is our quad stretch. Now you can choose to do your quad stretch keeping your towel here, but if it feels too much for you, get rid of your towel and just do the quad stretch on the floor. We're going to bend one knee And we're going to reach our hand back to grab that ankle. And again, you're keeping your pubic bone aiming down towards the floor. So your pelvis is still in that kind of tipped back position and it's not tilting the other way. Just take some deep breaths here. And like I said, if it really bothers your, wherever it's tight, maybe that your quads are just not happy here or your hips are not happy, get rid of the towel. You don't need to have that there as well. That's just a little extra for you. And if it feels nice, you can just roll that leg gently in and out, or you can keep it still. And when you're ready, we're just going to release that leg long. And do the same on the other side, so bending your other knee, and again reaching your hand back to grab that knee. See how it feels? Do you need to get rid of your towel on this side? Is it okay on this side? Okay, you might just lay down here. Try rolling the leg in and out. And then when you're ready, releasing that leg. We're going to push ourselves up and back into child's pose again, into that rest position. Reaching your arms forward, taking your bottom back towards your heels and hold here. And when you're ready, we're going to come back up. So you can get rid of your towel now. We're going to come back down onto our front. And we're going to do that little inner thigh stretch here. So come back down onto your front. And then slide one knee out to the side. So the knee is bent and it's out to the side. And then again, just relaxing down. And notice, have you had to really twist your pelvis to get this knee out to the side? Is there a huge gap between your hip bone and the floor? And if there is, we're going to try and find a little bit more space and a little bit more release here. So we're not going to force it. But we're going to think about sending our knee out to the side. So it's like we're trying to lengthen that leg out to the side to find more space in the hip. Taking those deep breaths, and again, just trying to find as much softness as you can. Now, we're going to keep that leg out to the side bent, and then the free leg, we're going to start to bend it in, bringing your heel towards your bottom and then lengthen and reaching that leg away. Again, bend it in and lengthen and reach it away. Let's do two more. Reach it. Find that length. Last one. And lengthen and reach. Bring that leg in and again hold that ankle. Can you find your quad stretch here? And if it feels too much for you, you can just release that leg and just stay here. And if it feels okay, let's find our quad stretch here, multitasking. When you're ready, release that leg long. Straighten out your other leg. A little bit of space between the legs and just gently rock your hips side to side. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So you're going to bend your other knee and bring it out to the side. And again, just settle. And notice, have you had to kind of roll onto your side to get here? Is there a huge space under your hips? And if there is, see, and again, if you can find some more space in this hip joint, think about sending that knee out to the side to give more space so that your pelvis can start to rest down. Don't force it. It will go in its own time when it's ready. And again, we're going to start to bend and straighten the free leg. Reaching the leg long, always thinking about length. Let's do one more time here. And lengthen and reach that leg long. And then bring it in. And can you again reach your hand back to grab your ankle to do your little quad stretch here. Taking some deep breaths and trying to find again just as much softness as you can here. And then when you're ready, release in that leg. Lengthen your other leg. Again, space between the legs as you just rock your hips gently side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to push ourselves again up and back into child's pose. Reaching your arms forwards and relaxing down here. Pause. Now taking your hands slightly wider apart, we're going to start to come up and forwards, passing through all fours and starting to lower your hips towards the floor and lifting your chest and head, and then going back the other way. I'm going to move with the breath, so I'm going to go as far as feels okay for you. So we inhale to come forwards and exhale to go back. And if it doesn't feel nice for you to come all the way forwards, you can just go all fours to child's pose. You don't have to go any further than you feel ready for. But if it feels good, allow your body to go there. But notice as you come forwards, if you are dropping into your shoulders or your hips are dropping towards the floor and shortening your lower back, you want to really feel supported and active through all of these movements. So don't let your shoulder blades crash in towards each other. Keep them nice and wide. Let's do one more time. And as you go back into child's pose this time, stay there. We're going to come up onto all fours now. Fingers spread wide. Thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. We're going to do our rhomboid push up here. So you're going to bring your shoulder blades together and then press them wide. Shoulder blades squeeze and press. Now notice if your elbow pits are kind of rolling in to look towards each other, see if you can keep them forwards. And maybe add that head hang here, so just letting your head hang. And then picking up your head, bringing it in line with your spine, keeping those elbow pits forward. Let's do some shoulder circles here. Get your shoulder blades moving again. And if you've managed it, can you see if you can reverse and go the other way? Really good. And then we're going to come down onto our elbows. And walk your elbows and hands forwards a little bit and pull your bottom back in the opposite direction. Maybe your forehead will reach the floor, and if not, you can have it hovering or you can grab a cushion. And we're reaching the elbows and the hands forwards, we're pulling the bottom back, and we're going to hold here. And then coming up, we're going to turn the hands over so that your palms are facing up now. Little fingernail, next fingernail, each finger in turn. Try and get the nail to touch the floor. How about your thumb? Can you get your thumb down on the floor? And then again, think about pushing your elbows and your hands forwards as you pull your bottom back. You probably will notice that your thumbs are starting to peel away from the floor and they're trying to point in towards each other. So you're going to work on those hands. Keep trying to open those hands out as best you can. And when you're ready, we're going to come up and come back onto our hands. Fingers spread wide. Thumbs are pointing towards each other, elbow pits forwards. Take a breath, and as you exhale, you're going to tuck your bottom under, rounding through your spine. Your head is the last thing to move. Take a breath and go the other way. Stick your bottom out this time, rolling through your spine. Again, we're looking for soft, easeful movement. Not forcing. And as you come through centre this time, hold it there. We're going to take it into our thread the needle here. So taking one hand, turn so the palm faces up and thread it behind your opposite wrist. Twisting your upper body around, maybe your ear and your shoulder will come down towards the floor. And if not, you can grab a cushion or you can hover. If you don't need this hand supporting you, you can reach that arm forwards to give you even more stretch. And hold here. When you're ready, slide that hand back in. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to bring your arm through, placing your hand back down on the floor. Thread the other hand behind your wrist. Again, twisting your upper body around, bringing your ear and your shoulder towards the floor. And if you don't need that supporting hand by your shoulder, you can reach that arm forward to give you even more stretch. And hold here. When you're ready, slide that hand back in. Other hand comes back in. And then come on off your wrist. Just give your wrist a little twirl around. And go the other way. Let's shake out. We're going to go back down onto our back now. So when you're ready, come on down. Taking a moment again for your body to settle. Nice and wide through the chest and shoulders, pelvis anchored. Letting your arms come down to the floor. And we're going back to that spine twist. So feet and knees together. Allowing both knees to roll gently to one side and maybe let your head roll the opposite way. Inhale as you come through centre and exhale over to the other side. As you come in through centre this time, hold it there and lengthen those legs out long again and take your arms overhead. We're going to stretch from fingertips to toes, making ourselves as long as we can. We're going to go into the crescent stretch from here. So walking your feet to the right and then walk your arms and upper body also to the right. So you're in that crescent or that banana shape. And if that's enough, stay there. Or you can pick up your left ankle and cross it over your right, giving more stretch to the lower body. Maybe with your right hand you want to grab that left wrist and just give it that little extra pull. But if it bothers your shoulders, you can take the arms out of it and just do your legs. Now notice here if it's making you arch your back or your ribs starting to lift away from the floor. So try and keep the ribs down. So our shoulder blades and the back of our pelvis is still anchored on the floor. We've not rolled onto our side here. And we're going to focus on our breath again. Can you find that movement of the rib cage, really increasing that stretch down your left side? When you're ready, release your hands, just bringing your arms down. Walk your feet in through centre. Let's take them over to the other side. So walking your legs to your left this time. Arms go up and overhead, and then also walking your arms and upper body to your left. Again, either choosing to stay there, or picking up your right ankle, crossing it over your left. Maybe with your left hand grabbing your right wrist. Again, just giving that little extra stretch. Check in with those ribs, make sure that we're not arching the back and the ribs stay down. Let's take those deep breaths here. Finding that movement of your rib cage. Maybe you can feel the stretch through your waist. When you're ready, release the arms first. Walking your legs back in through centre, moving slowly, bending your knees one at a time, and then picking up your knees. Give your knees a hug, and let's just rock gently side to side here. We're going to come on up to seated now, so take your time. We're coming up to find a seated position, and you can grab a cushion to sit on or something to make you a little bit more comfortable if you don't feel comfortable sitting just on the floor today. Okay, so cross-legged or legs out long, whatever works for you is fine. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder stuff now, so let your shoulders just relax down. Let's do some little shoulder circles, hands just wherever they've fallen, wherever they're resting is fine. And then reverse, let's go the other way. Gently turning your head side to side. Head comes back in through centre. Have that little head tilt. So dropping your ear down towards your shoulder and hold it there. Feeling that stretch through your neck, your shoulder, your chest, maybe your jaw. Let's try the other side. Head comes up and over to the other side. Let your shoulders relax. And again, let's just take some breaths here, just enjoying that stretch. And head comes up through centre. And do a little bit more shoulder stuff now. So let's reach our arm out in front. Imagine that you're holding onto a cup of water and you're going to tip that water out. So your arm is in that external rotation. We're going to take that arm out to the side, keeping a soft elbow, but reaching your elbow away from you. Still got that arm in that turned out position. And let's again drop our ear towards our shoulder on the opposite side. Holding here. When you're ready, bring your head back up and release that arm. We're going to do the same on the other side. Reaching your arm forwards, holding onto your cup of water and tip it out. Taking that arm out to the side, keeping that soft elbow and reaching that elbow away from you. Can you drop your ear towards your shoulder? Again, let's relax the shoulders. Just let everything be as soft as possible here. When you're ready, head comes up. Bring that arm back in. I'm going to switch my legs over just so that I'm crossing them over the opposite way this time. And we're going to reach both arms out in front. Both arms together this time. Tip out your water and take those arms out to the side. Reaching the elbows away and dropping your chin now down towards your chest. Relax your shoulders. Reach your elbows away. Finding length and softness through the back of your neck. When you're ready, slowly bring your head back up first. Release those arms. Give your shoulders a little circle again. And reverse, go the other way. Let's head turn again, gentle head turn side to side. And you are all done.